Have you ever felt stuck in a dead-end job or caught in a situation that makes you wonder, what if? What if you became this amazing success story, earning more than you ever thought possible and having everything you always dreamt of? It's a comforting thought, isn't it? For most of us, it's a daydream that helps us get through tough times. But for Kurt Warner, that dream became his reality. If you are looking for a true story of resilience and the power of never giving up on yourself, no matter how impossible it might seem, well, you have come to the right place. Let's cover the story of Kurt Warner. From a grocery store clerk to one of the greatest NFL quarterbacks. We know Kurt as this huge NFL star. But Kurt's journey didn't start in the NFL. It began with struggle and rejection. Born in Burlington, Iowa, Warner grew up loving football. He played quarterback at Regis High School in Cedar Rapids, and after graduating in 1989, he went on to play at the University of Northern Iowa. It wasn't smooth for him at all. For most of his college years, Warner sat as the third-string quarterback who was struggling to prove himself. It wasn't until his senior year that he finally got the chance to start. And when he did, he shined. Kurt earned the title of Gateway Conference's Offensive Player of the Year. But despite his talent, the NFL wasn't knocking at his door. In the 1994 NFL Draft, Warner went undrafted. He eventually got an invite to try out for the Green Bay Packers, where he had to compete against the best in the world like Brett Favre and Mark Brunell. Imagine this, just starting out in something, and in order to prove yourself, you have to face the best at that. Sounds unfair, right? Well, for him, it wasn't. He took it as an opportunity to show his real talents. He gave his best, but it wasn't enough. The competition was tough, and Warner was released before the season even began. He was disappointed, but not defeated. To make ends meet, Kurt had to take the job of stocking shelves at a Hy-Vee grocery store in Cedar Falls. That earned him just $5.50 an hour. Working here did not mean he gave up on his NFL dream. He balanced working late-night shifts and training for his game to improve every single day. Alongside his grocery store job, he stayed connected to football and worked as a graduate assistant coach at Northern Iowa, in hopes that another chance would come. When no NFL team would give Kurt Warner a chance, he didn't give up. In 1995, he decided to turn to the Arena Football League, AFL, and signed with the Iowa Barnstormers. It wasn't what he had dreamed of, but it was a way to keep playing. Something is better than nothing, right? The AFL was rougher, as it was played on smaller fields with walls instead of sidelines. It wasn't the NFL, but Warner was determined to prove himself, and prove himself he did. In both 1996 and 1997, Warner led the Barnstormers to the Arena Bowl, which is the AFL's version of the Super Bowl. Warner put on such a great show that he was named to the AFL's first-team All-Arena in those 2 seasons. That put him among the league's best. In fact, his performances were so remarkable that he was eventually ranked as one of the top 20 players in arena football history. Now it's all sounding as if he was on the right track and success was just around the corner, right? Well, not really. Just when it seemed his NFL dream might be within reach, Warner faced another setback. Before the 1997 NFL season, he earned a tryout with the Chicago Bears. It was the break he had been hoping for. But then, something almost unbelievable happened. Warner suffered an injury to his throwing elbow, caused by an insect bite he got on his honeymoon. Seems like luck wasn't in his corner again. This injury forced him to miss the tryout. Once again, Warner's path to the NFL was blocked, and he was left wondering if he'd ever get his chance. Despite all the setbacks, Warner kept going. His patience, hard work, and resilience finally paid off in 1999, when he got his big break in the NFL with the St. Louis Rams. Now, this one is the most important highlight of his career, so pay close attention. When Kurt Warner finally got his chance with the St. Louis Rams, he was ready to prove himself. The Rams' starting quarterback went down with an injury in 1999, and Warner was asked to step up. And he did, in a way that no one expected. Warner's breakout season in 1999 was nothing short of magical. Surrounded by talented players like Marshall Faulk, Isaac Bruce, and Torrey Holt, he led an offense that would go down in history as the greatest show on turf. Warner threw for an astounding 4,353 yards and 41 touchdowns that year. Game after game, he amazed fans, setting records along the way. He became known for his fearless play, pinpoint passes, and incredible composure under pressure. His career highlight was when his hard work paid off when he led the Rams to a Super Bowl victory. That earned him both the NFL MVP and Super Bowl MVP awards. In the biggest game of his life, Warner threw for a then-record 414 passing yards, including a 73-yard game-winning touchdown. He became a hero overnight. That was a legendary season Kurt had. His performance was so huge that it did not just make him famous. It was so good that he made the NFL even more popular. Now that's saying something. By the way, there is another huge brand in the MMA world which was made famous due to a fighter. Ring any bells? Comment down below. Coming back to Kurt, NFL became so famous because of him that it inspired them to create their first widely available video game in 2000, titled Kurt Warner's Arena Football Unleashed. Now imagine this, working at $5 per hour as a grocery store clerk to getting a video game named after you. Now that is inspiring. But here is the interesting part, he was just getting started. On August 12, 2011, Warner's contributions to the AFL were honored when he was inducted into the Arena Football Hall of Fame. From there on, he had a great career ahead up until his retirement in 2010. After moving away from the Rams, Kurt continued his journey with the New York Giants. It was a short time with them, though. After that, Warner joined the Arizona Cardinals, a team with a struggling past. But he didn't let that stop him. He stepped onto the field, determined to prove himself again, even as others doubted him this time. In 2008, Warner got the chance to start and led the Cardinals to a season no one expected. He threw for over 4,500 yards and 30 touchdowns, ranking among the NFL's best. That season, he guided the Cardinals to their first division title since 1975, earning them a playoff spot. Warner didn't just stop at the playoffs. He carried the team all the way to the Super Bowl, throwing 4 touchdowns in the NFC Championship game. Though the Cardinals lost, Warner's performance was unforgettable. He threw for 377 yards, one of the highest in Super Bowl history. In 2009, he set records again, even throwing 5 touchdowns in a single playoff game, proving he could still compete with the best. Warner's comeback was remarkable. He turned the Cardinals into contenders. After years of working tirelessly, Warner rose to the absolute top. He inspired everyone throughout his career, and even after it with his talent and his heart. When Warner retired in 2010, it was clear that his journey was about so much more than football. Warner wanted to be there for his 7 kids and his wife, who had been his biggest supporters all along. His faith, family, and teammates meant everything to him. But even after leaving the NFL, his story didn't stop. Warner's achievements brought him into not just one, but 2 Hall of Fames, the Arena Football Hall of Fame in 2010 and the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2017. He's the only person ever to achieve that. Warner's impact has continued beyond the field too, as he now mentors young players as a high school coach. Kurt Warner's story is a reminder that dreams don't have deadlines. Try not to give up on them if right now you're stocking shelves or doing work that doesn't match the big plan you have for yourself. Warner's journey from a grocery store in Iowa to the greatest NFL quarterback proves that success isn't always about being in the right place at the right time. Sometimes, it's about staying prepared and grabbing opportunities as soon as they knock on your door. So, if you're working a job that doesn't feel like the dream, or if your goal feels far off, take a page from Kurt Warner's playbook. Keep pushing, stay ready, and remember that your breakthrough moment might be just around the corner. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.